Now?
Yep, we are live. Oh, well,
There we
not
go.
live, just recording.
We are recording.
Yeah.
Hello once
Eventually
again,
we'll
human
be
beings of the planet Earth.
Hello to you as well, my friends. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining us again on another day. I was just telling the family.
What was that? We were speaking about that greeting that you use on your channel, Estian, that like left an impression with me. What was it that you say?
It goes, indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend.
I really like that.
That's hardcore.
Each one of those words used with a lot of intention. And it's powerful stuff, dude. Like it's so powerful, your mind almost like erases it, like it doesn't want to acknowledge what was just said to it. And then you just kind of like get caught up. Like think about it. Like do you remember what was said? It is like it's so easy to
Indeed, greetings unto you,
beloved
holy friend.
So yeah, recognizing that you are loved in the word beloved, and recognizing that you are whole and holy, divine in your own right, and then starting that conversation with that as well. And also using the word friend means that you're making yourself completely equal. You're telling the person that you're talking to that me and you are walking side by side, hand in hand, on the same path. I'm not above you, I'm not below you. We're friends. We're equals.
I love the greeting.
It is indeed one of the more powerful greetings I've heard.
Yeah.
It resonates with you, my friend. I've been trying to do things with more and more intention, and it's been a pretty surreal experience, actually.
Dude, it actually is. So just as a thing, the other day I started doing my editing, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, no. Before I do my editing, I'm gonna sit, take 5 minutes, and focus on what I want to accomplish. It took me half the time to do the work I needed to do, and I enjoyed it double as much. I promise you, it was ridiculous.
I completely see that happening, dude. It's like our intentions. So let me backtrack a little bit. Our brains are coherence machines. So the information that it receives, it's like, okay, I've received this information. How do I make this my reality? So by going into any situation with an intention, even being the words that you're speaking to someone, by going into it with the right intention, you're creating that experience before you're even going into that experience, because you're telling your brain, this is the experience, and then your brain is like, oh wait, let me go here to that. And then it makes it.
There we go.
It is kind of beautiful that we have that sort of power, in the sense that our brain sometimes does it naturally. For example, in a dangerous situation, your brain kicks in and it says, cool, we're in danger. We know what we have to do. Breathe faster, shoot some adrenaline into this body. Hoi, bru, run.
Run.
You know, that's that sort of thing. And it's interesting to me that you can actually start applying that a little more actively in different situations. For example, today I started with a new exercise routine. And I knew for a fact it was going to be hard. And I told myself, like, prepare yourself. This is going to be a bitch slap. So start with that mentality, because, like, you know, sometimes you have to push beyond your limits in those situations. Most of the time, if you hadn't prepared, you wouldn't be able to push through with the exercise. But if you sit down and you say, like, this is going to be fucking hard, so grit your teeth, puta, and do what you can. Like, it's strange how that works.
Yeah, it
is the willpower, dude.
Yep.
It's just the willpower, man. Like that's what it's interesting as well, because like a lot of our willpower is kind of created from a place of discomfort. We have this like, oh, something is not the way it's supposed to be, and then you have like this need to go and do that thing. And like the problem is that we have this capacity to really like realize things. And during the Industrial Revolution, people for the first time really started working for corporations for money exclusively. And during that time, that's when the school system got reformed, and they basically set the school system up for people to conform to that exact same working structure. Being in lines, sitting at your desk, doing what you're supposed to do, listening to authority,
Dude,
asking permission to go to the bathroom, stuff like this.
it's
It's
hilarious. I'm sorry.
it's a very scary system, dude, and I feel like it's something that we have to actually address.
On that topic, it was very interesting. As I was driving to work, I saw the sign. You know how you get those news signs on light, what do you call them? Lights and shit like that. And one of them said, millionaire school dropout. And it was as if it was praising this kid for being a millionaire even though he dropped out of school. And I don't know what clicked in my head, and I was like, is that what school is supposed to be about making money?
Yeah.
Like, is that what it's come down to? Is the education system built in such a way for us to eventually make money? And I was like, that's not what fucking education is supposed to be.
Dude, education right now isn't even to make money right now. It's to earn someone else money. Like, that's kind of what they're teaching us.
Even that's even worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And funny that we're talking about this. A couple days ago, I had this thought as well, where I was like, you know what I feel is, I feel like school has caused a lot of the segregation between the sexes issues that we have. Because I remember being at school, and every time before class, you had to split guys and girls. And every time everything was always done with this intention of you guys are separate. And I feel like that's translated a lot into society as well, because I mean, if you go to school and that's obviously going to be your new reality, and you're going to treat the workplace that way as well. I feel like that's where a disconnect comes in, because as well, if you have to get used to continuously telling people, can I do this? May I go to the bathroom? Is this correct? You're going to become dependent. You're not going to be able to cause your own things or your own happiness because you're relying on somebody else telling you you're good. It's like an example that I want to give about how much I actually think power school has over breaking people's hopes and dreams, or uplifting them. I can do both, but when I was at school, up until grade 7, not 1 year did I get above 30% for art. Not once in my entire preschool career. I then get to high school, and in grade 9 we started to do compulsory art. So I was like, yo, fuck it, I'll do one. So I paint my picture, everything in it. I still remember the picture. It was basically a windowsill, to a window with like a pile of garbage and a computer stacked on the middle. I don't remember what the symbolism for it was, but I remember what it looked like. And the teacher looks at it and she's like, wow, that was really good. Send it into the I Stedford. And I end up getting a B+ for the art. And that shows me how many people has dreams have been crushed by teachers who aren't willing to actually look at the skill that this kid or person has, and has now ruined a career that they might actually have.
Yeah, dude, like, it's very cool that you say that. It's like, it's basically
countless
reinforcing an idea inside of a child's mind that they're not good enough to do the thing that they might actually be perfect for. And it's terrifying, dude.
Art isn't supposed to be something you judge based on a couple of standards. Art is personal. Art is supposed to be completely unique. So the second you start judging art based on a couple of set standards, something is going wrong, which is why art as a school subject has always boggled my mind.
No, not as a subject that you get marks for. Because it can be a subject where you can learn things, but the fact that we attach you're a B or a A or a F at art is quite weird.
Yeah, dude, especially since like any piece of art, like, and it goes so far as to say like any creation in existence, even you waking up, lifting your head off of your pillow, you've just created something. And like we're very almost reluctant to recognize the things that we're doing as good. And one of the practices that this book that I'm reading actually encourages you is to allow yourself to look at something that you do every single day, step back from it, and say, it is good. And it is very difficult for a child to do that for themselves, especially since they're in their development age, where they kind of have to be told it is good so that they understand that they have this potential. And if a teacher isn't that for a child, like how are they supposed to form those connections? Like, unfortunately, moms or parents, I should say rather, don't have as much time to be able to do these things for kids. So like teachers have even more emphasis in the development of children than ever. And
Bruh,
it's a
that's
big
where we've been
responsibility.
that's where we've been fucking going wrong, bro. That's where we've been fucking going wrong. It's this the fact that parents don't have time to properly raise their children on their own. They have to either rely on nannies or nursery schools or whatever, primary schools, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I feel like that is so. Nobody knows your child better than you, bro. You brought it into this world. You raised it from a baby. You understand its mannerisms, the way it functions. Nobody else gets that better than you. The fact that you don't even have time to properly nurture and raise this fresh being, this new ultimate weapon, because that's what a human is. It's like this incredible potential in this fleshy body. You can't be there to grow this thing. It's something is wrong. Something is wrong.
Yeah, dude. And the problem is we live in a society where people have to kind of keep working. And we're also living in a society where people get told that money is the ultimate thing that you should be working for.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people feel, okay, if I earn this amount of money, then I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be able to provide for my child. So, like, at the end of the day, like that need is still coming from a place of love for the child or love for themselves. But unfortunately, love for money is going to lead us all to ruin, dude. If we don't become
It's
aware of
not.
that and
It's
allow
not even.
ourselves to transcend that.
It's not even love. It's not even love for money. You see, it's love for acceptance. Especially this illusion of circles you want to fit into. Um, you don't feel like you're doing right in life unless you're hanging out with the more rich people with Mercedes Benzes, uh, super V8 Audis or some shit like that. You don't feel like you're achieving. You feel like you're falling behind on the food chain, which in many ways, based on Darwinistic interpretation,
You are.
yeah, if we come down to the raw factors, yeah, you are falling behind. But that's you can be intelligent enough to also see that that is a complete and filthy lie in many
Yeah.
ways.
It's an illusion, dude. It's people becoming attached to this physical plane, dude. When we're light beings having a human experience, not human beings having
Bruh,
light experiences.
here's the funny thing. You're born as a human being. You are just based on that raw fact, you are born with an infinite imagination.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
You're born a creator.
You are born something retarded. You are a superpower already, just
Yeah.
from birth.
So
Just from birth.
something that I was talking to Duncan and them about is, you know what's crazy to me? It's the fact that I can view where I am currently sitting from back there on that like the cupboard. You can take your brain, push it back, and imagine what your space looks like where you're currently sitting from a different point in space. That is ridiculous to me.
Sure, it's not accurate, but it's infinitely more accurate than everything else.
Yeah, it you might not remember or be able to picture each detail. That how the back of this chair looks is my brain filling in the gap from having seen the back of this chair a lot. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, but the fact that we can do that, or that we can look at something, take it away, and still remember and visualize how it looks, and then be able to change that to have new ideas, that is like ultimate supercomputer to the max. How we biologically got so advanced compared to all other fucking anything on this planet and universe is incredible.
Dude, it's the whole no kramer
and
of
what
evolution doesn't
and what are
drive
we busy?
intelligence. Intelligence drives
What are we?
evolution.
What are we busy doing? What are we busy doing?
Walking?
We're looking for this stuff, bro.
Looking for what stuff?
I can't.
This stuff all the time.
The money? The money stuff.
Money.
The money stuff.
It's not what we're looking for,
The
though,
money
dude.
stuff.
We're looking to communicate, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't think the vast majority of people are. I think there's a portion of people that are. I think there's a portion of people that are just trying to survive. But of the people who are looking for more money, very few fall into the category of I think they want to communicate. I think people that are that rich want more because they feel empty. Because they have nothing else than that number on their bank account, and
because all they know is the chase, mate. That's all they know. That's all they have ever done is the chase for the money. The second they have the money, they chase for more because it's what they know.
Yeah, you don't know any better.
It's a rat race, dude. Like, and you can literally see it in rats as well. If you give them a dopamine button, they keep pressing it until they die.
Yeah. Dopamine is the greatest drug.
They choose that over food.
Yeah.
Over food, over water. They keep pressing that dopamine button. It's like, I feel so good.
So yeah, now you can attach your dopamine to that number, like people have done with upvotes or likes. The more
that's
likes,
literally what it is.
The more points your brain gives you dopamine, and the better you feel. It is disturbing. It is disturbing that some data on some fuck far cloud server can cause you this much pain or
not
this
just
much
that,
pleasure.
Dude, it's like literally a few digits, bro.
Yeah.
It's like a few numbers. So you can write down a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper. Like, let's say you write down 2 million. Like, if you get 2 million upvotes on like a selfie that you take, that's fucking bonkers. But it's only bonkers because you have that attachment to that number. That number in its own doesn't mean anything other than representing 2 millions of a unit of something. It's when you say, oh, this something is something that I value. That's when we become attached to it, dude. And that's where we get our dopamine from as well. It's that attachment to this physical world.
Do you know how many pretty girls on Instagram get complete fulfillment from people having thousands of likes on their photos? What have they actually achieved? Is my question. What have you actually properly achieved in this life? All you did was take 5 seconds to take a photo and you uploaded it to some remote place in the cloud and you got a bunch of people to see it and they liked. What have you actually done for all of that happiness that you're getting suddenly?
Very little.
Dude, you got born with DNA that expressed into your physical being.
Now, I don't know if that's necessarily bad.
What is that? That is such disgustingly fake fulfillment, man.
It's fake.
You have done nothing. You have done absolutely nothing. All you did was you were born. Well done. So were the rest of us. You did nothing, and that's the problem that we have to stop in the world. Chris, beauty is such a malicious pit.
Yeah, it is.
You see, the thing at the end of the day as well, Christian, is we recognize beauty in this world, and we see it, and it's universal as well at the end of the day. Like, you don't have to share a conversation or the language to like share that conversation even to recognize something is beautiful. And you can both being completely differently gender, completely differently ethnicity, complete different like religion or whatever you want to go into, and you can still recognize a flower as being beautiful. And that is just our universe expressing beauty.
I'm being completely objective and I am reeking of hypocrisy right now because I am that guy that will smash that like button the second I see that pretty ass. I promise you. I'm there going like, oh my god, this is the best ass I've ever seen. Fuck yeah. This is awesome. I promise you, I'm part of that group. I'm not excluding myself from this at all. I'm just acknowledging it as a factor of humanity that we have to work away from.
Yeah, see, but the question is it really that bad?
Away from, because this is just not healthy for our future.
But why?
It comes down, so at least this is my opinion on it, Johan. It comes down to what you're putting into your field of consciousness. So do you want to put into your field of consciousness women creating content by sharing their bodies, and then that being the extent of the content that they're sharing? So you can
isn't
that
what we've been fighting for so long? Isn't that what we've been fighting for so long? Is not to judge women based on their appearances. What are they doing right now?
It's not judging women based on their appearances that's been the problem this whole time. It's been, I feel like, just people wanting approval, dude. People wanting approval of whatever it might be. And now we've created this whole platform for people to feel approved. And it's intoxicating to someone who wants to be approved, dude, at the end of the day. That's the problem, dude. And I think
that's a very big root. That's a very big root that has to be called out because guess what? It doesn't matter how much approval you get from the external world, unless you start approving of yourself, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yep, exactly.
Anywhere.
Dude. And we don't get taught that at school. Our parents don't understand it either. It's a very difficult concept to actually wrap your head around, dude. It's the fact that you have to completely love yourself, have to completely accept yourself, have to find happiness within inside of yourself. There's no dollar value that's going to make you happy.
I never thought I would say this.
No woman. It's going to be you at the end of the day.
I would say this, guys, but to anybody watching out there, this is a crazy thing, and people will probably judge me for this. Go fucking, all of you motherfuckers, go watch The Love Guru. It is the most retarded Mike Myers movie ever, but you go and you watch The Love Guru, because that shit has some damn philosophy in it that will change your entire existence.
The Love Guru? I don't remember any philosophy from The Love Guru, dude. What the hell?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, dude. That entire movie is about loving yourself and doing it in the most healthy way possible. In the most honest, the most unobtrusive, wonderful way possible. You learn from that shit and you learn to love yourself, bro, because guess what? The world isn't going to do it for you.
Yeah.
It's not. It's all pretentious every person that sits there and they see a girl on Instagram and they're like, "Oh, this girl is hot." They literally spend what? 0.02 seconds of their life double clicking on this and then moving on to the next hot girl. You're just another number. That's so sad in so many ways.
Yeah, dude, and we're feeding into it at the end of the day, literally. It's
one person that genuinely cares about you and is willing to give you their life and their time to see you being happy is far more than 1 million likes or 1 trillion likes on Instagram. I don't care what number you want to put to it. And guess what? It can start with just you.
So,
nobody else.
I had a chat with some of my other friends about just why people find it so difficult to not be depressive. That sounds bad, but a bunch of the friends I have are a little, I wouldn't say down, a bit negative about certain aspects of life.
Most of your friends are depressed, Johan.
Probably.
I'm including myself in this picture. Like,
fuck you. If you're depressed, then I wouldn't believe you're depressed. But Okay, if you want to lob yourself into
I
that.
wouldn't. A lot of people might call it depression. Estion. Anyway,
But don't
Wow, that's like
fucking
no,
put that on
that's
me.
shade, dude. I'm just gonna just a
Fucking
black bar
shame.
is just gonna go around
Yeah,
and
I'm just
smack
like
you over
I'm
here.
sitting here being completely respectful, not interjecting, and then he just like kicks
uh,
my door down. It's
Y-
like just throw some shade on you quick.
Yeah.
I
Um.
enjoy it. I
I
enjoy it.
know.
It makes me
Uh,
happy.
But anyways.
I'm smiling as well. You just don't know.
Oh, that when you get insulted by your best friend and you or one of your best friends, you just sit there and you go, "Fuck you! I'm gonna get you back for this." You know, I'm not letting this slide.
I'll
And well,
show
I will
you
get
this.
you back for this. Oh man, so we were talking about how basically how hard it is to accept that people think you're an asshole sometimes, and that people and to get around their idea that uh people aren't judging you. And it was so intriguing to talk to them because being a little bit more negative than I am, because I like thinking of myself as an absolute optimist, people place so much emphasis on what they think other people think about them. It's when you walk past a
Mm.
grocery store and you walk in front of somebody and they go, "Wait, no, did that guy think I was rude? Did he not like what I was wearing?" Whoa, 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 all the way through. And I feel like it's a reason because you're not confident in yourself. If you
Dude,
are
just imagine. Sorry, man.
like, I think I know what you're gonna say. The way I see it is, you need to understand that nobody cares that much. As bad as it sounds, people genuinely care for themselves and continue on with that. What is
Dude, like
that?
imagine the way that you were as a kid, where you would say something, that you would arguably think as stupid in class. And then you like for the whole day, you're just like going through your mind, like,
Yep.
oh, I shouldn't have said this thing, shouldn't have said this thing. Everyone thinks this, everyone thinks this. And then at the end
Nobody
of the day, no
remembers
one is
shit.
like, what are you even talking about
Yep.
if you were to bring it up? And it just shows our power to actually like put ourselves in such a spot, and we have that
It
power to
also
like
it
uplift
also
ourselves as
shows
well.
it also shows how self-centered we can be because we keep thinking that everyone is going to remember this about us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, nobody gives a
Yeah.
flying fuck what you said yesterday, bro.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is, dude.
Yeah. It
I'm
sucks.
gonna be back in about 2 seconds. Hold on.
While you're doing something, I'm gonna switch my. I don't know if you've noticed on some of the other streams. Sometimes I switch my stream over to my phone. I go, I smoke a joint. I
I
come back, I switch back to my computer.
I have not noticed it once. That's impressive.
I'm happy that you've not noticed. Like, do you notice the mic difference, maybe?
Now I notice the mic difference.
Mm. Like, I usually have myself muted. I'm gonna do that again. You wanna tell me about your videos that you've been making?
Oh, so what I decided to end up doing was I saw this thing by the Spiffing Brit a while back about how YouTube short videos work. And YouTube short videos work almost identical to normal videos, but they need to be under a minute long. So they get pushed the same way, but they're way way easier to make. So because my plan for my YouTube channel is to I want to put on some funny things that me and my friends do. So if we play a game or multiplayer game, dude, I'm gonna post some of that like in the way my first video was. But what I also want to do is I wanna create a screenplay through the a medium of video games. So like when I record for 3 hours and then I'll sit and I'll slice the entire video into scenes. And then I'll sit and I'll drag the scenes out onto different places and kind of start writing a story for the entire uh I just want to open that. So for the entire like big story that I want to do. But realizing that shorts are so incredible, I started doing I'm gonna upload each day that I record. I'm gonna make a 55 to 57-second video of that and post it every day. Just to keep content flowing and making sure that I don't have null time on my YouTube channel. And so that's been the goal so far. So I'm going to miss today, and the reason I'm gonna miss today is because of fucking load shedding. Because at 10 I have load shedding again, so I can't edit for today, which sucks. But this is a fantastic segue, and the segue is going to be because I want to speak to you, Chris, about this incredible thing that I read. It's from Joshua Rowland, if I remember correct. It's the guy behind behind the
What have you been what have
what?
you been filling your brain with, my
So
friend?
listen to this. It's pretty fucking cool. So the creator of Rick and Morty, he wrote in a book that after doing a lot of story reading and trying to figure things out about story, he's developed that there are about 8 pieces that are almost always present in story. They can be taken out or put back in up to a certain amount, but there are almost always all of at least 5 out of the 8 elements in all stories. And it's pretty true. I'm not gonna lie. And so I'm gonna read them to you very quickly, and I want your opinion on them. Because so far, what I've been doing is I would get all my scenes, and then I'd sit and I'd take this as like a building block to get my scenes to where I need them or have them in my head, and then fill in the gaps to make it more coherent. But so the story circle consists of you need go, search, find, take, return, and change. And so in the order, you is a character is in some type of zone of comfort. So I'm going to use your book as this because we've never spoken about your book, Chris. But so your first portion of your story is Caleb being in the forest with his mentor, and they are used to hunting. That is your character's zone of comfort. It's your first one. Need is but they want something. So that isn't always that they end up wanting to do it. It can be and they need to do it. That's why the second one's need. It can be a I need to do it or I want to do it need. The third one is go, is you enter an unfamiliar situation, which again, being bitten by a werewolf. Search, adapt to it. This is the portion of the story that's normally the longest, where your character tries to figure out what he's gonna do with this new information or area. If we take Lost's adapt to it would be overcoming the island, something along those lines. Then find, which is they get what they want. They do end up getting that original need, whether that was to save the planet or get a girl. That original need gets fulfilled. The next one is they pay a heavy price for filling that need. Normally something happens that causes them to be like to, and then the second last one is return, where they go back to a familiar position. Now that familiar position can be the way the first began, or a new familiar position that's just slightly different from the old one, but it's still familiar enough. And then change is they have undertaken some journey and ended up changing. No story is complete without some type of change happening to the protagonist. So I find it as it's such a versatile and what's the right word I'm looking for here? Malleable system. It's not a rigorous way, this is what it needs to be.
I am honestly astounded by how they have broken down the psychology of storytelling so damn well. Because, yes, probably the majority, including my story, follows this paradigm. And here's the thing that you need to implement in your storytelling: break away from that paradigm. That's what art is supposed to be. It's not supposed to follow laws.
Now that you say that, Christian, like that's actually what I've been thinking about. Do you boys know Joel?
A movie game?
No, it's a YouTuber. I'm gonna go
Joel.
in. So his name is Joel Haver, and he has this way of telling stories that it just leaves you like, what the hell is going on? and he veers so far away from like that traditional storytelling system, and it always leaves you in a state of like, okay, like it just leaves you confused or uh wondering. And like for me, I like letting my mind wander. So I'd highly recommend you go and check it out. Like, let me actually see if I can link him in the.
That would be awesome. I'll throw it on in the description for anybody
It's
else that wants
just
to go see
like
it.
it's not going to be content that makes you transcend into being a better person, but but I can guarantee you it's gonna
I
make you
doubt it.
laugh. Some of them at least.
But let me say this, Johan. There is a reason that there is such a set psychology behind almost every great story, and this includes stuff like Rick and Morty, which has been revolutionary in terms of the entertainment
Yeah,
industry. I don't care who says it's not; it really is.
yeah, it
So
is.
fuck everyone else. But it really has been a fantastic change of pace in terms of sci-fi cartoons. Like, if I can put it in that niche sector, it has been revolutionary in that, simply because it follows that doctrine, sorry, not doctrine, that
Idea.
um, idea, you can
System.
call it idea then, that system very, very well. It follows it very, very well, and we as humans, we love it. We love it when a story follows that
Pattern
set pattern.
recognition, dude.
There is a reason for that, is because we want life to be that way. And
Yeah.
for some bizarre reason, we as human beings see that as the ideal way to live life.
Hmm.
And within that comes the problem of life does not always work that way. In fact, it very
Ah, where'd he go?
It very rarely
A
works
very
that way, if I were just
rare.
gonna say.
Did his power just go
Christian.
out?
So yeah, I was just about to say, did it just get load shedded?
Oh, that would be hectic.
I hope not though. Let's see if he
Fuck.
comes back.
Ah,
No, he is back.
yes! Get back here. You fuck face. Yes, he's
Jesus,
back.
Did you get
what the
load shedding?
fuck happened? No. What happened there?
I
That was
don't know.
very
You
strange.
you just went
Um,
boom.
yeah, well, what I was saying is we've been trying so very hard to force life to follow that set standard. And here's the problem: life does not give a flying fuck.
Yeah, it might not give a flying fuck.
No, the only time it does give a flying fuck is based off of other human beings around you that believe in the same concept as much, if not more, than you.
Okay, that's fair. See the
That's how we bring. There are 8 billion of us on this damn planet. Of course, we're gonna make this a damn reality for those around us.
You see, the main reason I think things like this structure for story is really good is because it helps to organize things. And by that I mean is art can't be organized, but to have a story and have some type of layout in your brain of where things can come to hit certain beats so that you have a complete story, and then to add your own spice and action and ideas in between, interlaid, intermeshed, up to where you have a wholly unique product. But it still needs to hit a couple beats for people to recognize it as an actual story. Now, like I said, he points out that he said most of the time 5 is the minimum you need. 4 can be done, but it's very hard. And you can go look, and I actually went through a couple of the movies to go check, and it is all there. We can go through the entire of Soul and you'll find each of these beats. But Soul isn't Soul because of the hitting these beats. It's Soul because it had enough soul in the movie to be wholly unique because people actually cared. That's the big thing for me.
Do you know that Soul changed my entire damn life?
No, it did
Just
to me as well.
one movie,
I've still not seen it, boys.
I'm gonna
one
So
punch you.
movie,
some
one night. It
discretion
changed
would
my
be
entire.
advised, please.
It's a damn Pixar animated movie, bro. I'm 25 years old. I watched the damn kids movie, and guess what? It changed my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
So do not be judgmental of animated movies, bro. Because guess what?
I'm not at all, dude. I actually want to like desperately see it. I was actually talking about seeing it on stream today. Interestingly enough, it's a little bit of synchro destiny, if you will.
I needed that movie so damn much in my, because a lot of people out there, and this is the psychology behind that movie, is they got it down. Every single one of us human beings on this planet, I don't care who you are,
Will
I don't
relate.
care where you come from, I don't care what you've learned, I don't care what you've seen, you are living the life of that jazz. You are living it. All of us are seeking this damn purpose, this epitome of reaching fulfillment. And guess what? It's not about that. It's not about that.
We'll leave it at that. Any more will spoil it, but I hope that intrigues anybody that watches this and hasn't seen the movie. Please go watch the movie. Like this
Go
is
watch the movie.
Yeah.
Do your soul a favor. Go watch that movie.
This is not me commanding. This is me asking, like a genuine ask. Go watch it.
I'm commanding. Go do it,
Oh,
asshole.
it's so good.
Fucking.
As he walks away. Yeah, dude, great fucking movie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we have people and that we have genuine care.
Dude, the fact that this damn movie, I am glad that there are people out there that are making this a reality, that they are thinking about these things and they're trying to spread the message and they're trying to reach out to us, and that it is becoming more possible to do that. Thank fuck. Censor me out if you have to, but thank fuck.
No, I
You
don't
cursed
censor
a few
swearing.
times.
I don't cancel swearing. I don't think swearing is an actual big issue. And if the US if the US has now I saw one of the Confederate court has taken fuck off the profanity list. It doesn't need to be censored on TV anymore. So if you're
That's
telling me that's a
Fuck
thing
it.
that you can do, then I fuck you, YouTube. I'm gonna swear. Oh yeah.
Dude, the people that swear most are considered some of the most honest people on this planet. So fuck the rest of you.
Yeah, did you? I love swear words, and not because they're considered rude or that, but they allow you to give so much emphasis, dude.
Expression.
Dude, expression. Yeah, you can get what you want across so well with those words. Also, so funny enough, I did some Google research on where some of the swear words came from. Quite a few of the ones we have in English used to they're changed around now, but they used to represent or be the way that some pagan gods were pronounced. And the English and some of the French who didn't want the pagans to be able to worship it changed it to be outlawed words. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's where some of the swear words come from.
Yeah, dude.
I
People
I
are
want to
too
meet the god
uptight.
of.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I just feel people like attach too much value to things that are so arbitrary. And like at the end of the day, words do have power, but it's still you giving that word the power that you're giving it. If you're giving it the power to offend you and to perturb your soul, then that is exactly what it's going to do to you. And at the end of the day, people need to realize that it is something that's self-created. Slowly but surely, I guess.
Almost everything is self-created.
Yep.
All right, homios. I'm gonna leave you at this point because I need to go and take care of some responsibilities. It was such a lovely chat. I hope you do continue onwards. For the people that are listening out there, do yourselves a favor, listen to the next one because it'll do you some damn good. Get some fucking education into your minds. Break away from the stupid, typical bullshit and fill your heads with something more useful. Because goddamn it, the planet out there is full of bullshit, man. It's full of bullshit. All the mainstream shit that they're feeding you. Good luck with that. Enjoy it. If you want to stick to it, stick to it. If you want to break away, break away. But from a homie that's Bulgarian living in South Africa, I say peace on to you and God save you. Adios, muchachos.
Yes,
See you on
man.
the next one.
Much love, Chris.
Cheers, Chris.
Much love,
it was
guys.
nice having you, man. Enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. So, Estian, tell me about your week.
Shit, dude. Week has been pretty good. I've been kind of.
You're still here,
like,
Chris.
It's
Christian.
not letting me leave.
Christian is a boomer.
Dude, he's
doesn't
a boomer.
doesn't know how to end the Discord call.
I know exactly how to end it. The problem is the mother is cock.
There he goes. Yeah, dude. It's been. I feel especially like the last 2 weeks, I've been a lot more. I think aware of the responsibility that I've kind of put upon myself, and a lot more active and conscious. And that active consciousness has been like a little bit tiring, to be completely honest. It's been a little bit of a drain, and like I'm still appreciative of it, and I still see it for what it is, and I still see it for the information that I'm gaining from it, and I'm actively learning. But yeah, it's basically what I've been going through this week. At least that's what I've been feeling. But I've very, very clearly realized again just how much power we have over ourselves and over our conscious lived experiences.
Yeah.
It is us at the end of the day that has to become aware.
Yeah, I've actually also been finding it a little bit tough to do the streaming and editing and recording. It gets a lot. It's a lot of effort and it's a lot of time. Nothing in this world is easy. It's never been easy, and anybody that thinks it has been easy throughout history has not picked up a book. It's hard. To get and do the things you want to do takes effort, time, and a lot of willpower. A lot of willpower to get the things, and that's why I understand why people start disliking work, because it gets hard, especially if it's not something you want to do. But you gotta push through it. Every time you have that, you find something that makes it beautiful again for you. There's always something, and find maybe use it as a stepping stone. There's so many great things that you can do, even if you feel like you're not accomplishing enough.
Yeah, dude. And I think the biggest problem is as well is people compare themselves. And we have more so than ever, we have so many resources to be able to compare ourselves to others. And we should recognize that we are growing at our own paces. We're developing at the pace that we're supposed to develop at. Like our lives at the end of the day is made for us. And we should allow ourselves a little bit of leeway sometimes. Give ourselves some good information, and it's just about what you're consuming at the end of the day as well. I feel it's very easy to get into a pattern of consumption, whatever it might be. Like there's so many things actively available to, and like it's a vice, because you're not so much a vice because you're taking on something that you don't need, but because you're becoming so dependent on something to give you this satisfaction that you become like almost enslaved in that pattern. And as soon as you get into it, it's very easy to do it again as well, and then you're repeating this pattern over and over again. And like this is this thing that I think it's Stoic philosophy, where you're basically creating a response inside your brain that every time you resist something for a while, like let's say you resist eating sugar, for example. And that's actually something that I've been doing. You create expectation for your brain that the sugar will give you even more when you eventually eat it.
Yeah.
But like, fortunately, my body feels like absolute trash the next day when I eat sugar now. So like for me, the body feel the next day is so much worse than the sugar is good in the moment. So I haven't been struggling too much on that front.
That's
But it goes for the same thing with media, with pornography, with like excessive use of any substance before your allocated time for it, for example. And it's very easy, like after you've done it once, then you're like, oh, okay, this, like, I'm a failure, I guess I
yeah.
can just continue failing. And
Yeah.
then you get yourself into these negative, destructive patterns.
Yeah, I totally agree with you completely and utterly. I had something that I started doing recently and during this week that has been very beneficial to me is I was always in this bad pattern of procrastinating because at least the way my personality works is I can work for a very long time continuously, but then I have to really be enjoying the work. Otherwise, I need to sit down and I'll work for like half an hour, 40 minutes and be so tired of the thing. And then previously I would force myself to keep working because you need to do an hour or an hour and a half. But what I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been on Corridor Digital, the YouTube channel where they were talking. Yeah, it was. They have a video dedicated to this Mario Kart thing, but in the video they were saying what they did there is it comes from ancient China, is you take it and you work 10 minutes and you take a 10-minute break. And then you work 15 minutes and you take a 10-minute break. And then you work 20 minutes and you take a 10-minute break. And in that way, by the end of the time when you're done, you've done the thing you wanted to do while still, and today we know that in this way I'm shooting is while still keeping your dopamine levels high. Because our brain, in my, at least in my opinion, editing's fun, but it's not as fun as relaxing on the couch watching YouTube. So I do the thing, and then I come and work. And the moment I feel that I'm getting tired of the work I do, I go and take a break immediately. So I'll watch something just 10 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. If I go longer than that, I stop the video and come work again. But doing that pattern has now meant that it might take me 3 or 4 hours to do something I could have done in two. But it got done well because I never felt like I needed to rush through it.
Like, that's actually pretty cool, man. I really like that. So you're basically allowing yourself to still indulge in the things that you enjoy,
Yeah.
but you're doing it constructively and as a reward system for getting the thing done that you're supposed to be doing as well.
Yep. I feel like you could be a lot more productive because most of the time you get unproductive because one, you just don't like doing it, two, you get tired, and three, you get lazy. And all three of
Yeah.
those can be mitigated by just actually taking a break. Genuinely taking a 5-10 minute break, even if it's just go sit outside and take a couple deep breaths. Just get away from the space. Because something we are very good at is understanding space means certain emotion. Like for me, if I come sit at my computer, there's two spaces I'm in: playing games or working. And so I never watch YouTube on my computer. I always watch it on the TV because I can hook my laptop up to the TV. But so I'm trying to separate spaces out so that I know if I walk into a space, I have to do a certain thing.
That's like feng shui, isn't it?
I don't. It might be.
I think so, yeah. Like feng shui, or feng shui, whatever you want to say, is basically the practice of creating spaces in your house where you do only certain things. So, like, and I almost like your interpretation or your explanation of it better because it's very true, dude. And you are creating a space, dude, in which you almost like expect a certain emotion.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
for sharing that.
my pleasure. So yeah, I love reading, dude. I've been trying my best to get into new ideas and watch new videos and that. There's this insane new video Kurzgesagt put out about what would happen if the entire planet spontaneously turned to gold.
I
That
saw
was
that one,
that
dude.
was so cool to watch.
And I love how
Wow.
they started off with like, yes, at Kurzgesagt we talk about these serious
Yeah.
topics, It goes through some of the ridiculous ones, and it's like, that's why we're gonna do this one.
Yep, and then at the end it's like, we hope you learned something. We don't know what you might have learned, but if you did, please let us know.
Yeah, please, like we don't know what you're supposed to learn. I think the coolest thing I've learned about that is just how many different interpretation of like a situation they can be, and
Mm,
each one of these situations are different mathematically, and yet they can kind of still have the same outcome. So if you had like a very rudimentary testing device and you could see the outcome at the end of the day, or test the outcome, you wouldn't be able to really determine what was the cause, because the outcome, like basically in all of those scenarios, turned out to be the exact same thing as
yep,
well. Just the destruction of humanity.
yep. No,
Um,
I that it's so. I also so remember. I did I send you the video about general relativity that
oh yeah, you
did I
did
send it to
actually.
you? So
Yeah.
that dude, that blew my mind. So I'm gonna very quickly give a rundown to the people of what this guy on YouTube. I'll find the video and I'll put it on the description as well. But he basically proposed a new idea or way to visualize general relativity, because the normal one is that flat sheet of paper with the sun doing like that onto space, so that you kind of have the bend and then you have something that can roll around on the inside.
Yeah, but it's three
And
dimensional.
yeah, that's three dimensional. So kind of like
Mm.
you have a flat piece of paper with the dent in it. And the issue with that is, they said it elegantly in the video. It doesn't make sense to explain general relativity in universe by using out of universe general relativity. That
Yeah,
doesn't make
exactly.
sense. So what he proposes, let's say we take a flat sheet, and we take that flat sheet is doesn't have something on it, but rather in it. So that flat sheet is the universe. It is everything encompassing it. So that Earth or sun or whatever you see is part of the universe. It is in universe. They then put a flat sheet with that, with whatever you want to be causing gravity, and then you put, let's say, I don't know, a bottle here that's now gonna supposed to be affected by gravity. And then once you've done that, you take another scene here with the same sun and everything in the same format as this sheet, and you put the cup a little bit lower down. And so you do that until the cup is on the ground, and then you take this stack you have, you flip it vertically so that you can watch as if time is passing, like an old film would be. So you watch frame
Mm.
by frame by frame by
Slices.
frame. Yeah. And what that does is it helps us visualize how general relativity actually works. Because general relativity isn't the Earth attracts something. General relativity is that the Earth is so fucking massive that it bends space time. So what that means is, when you drop something, you're not actually applying any force to it. You are dropping it, and that, because it has no force, it remains stationary within space.
Yeah.
But because we live in space and time, and because the Earth bends space time, as we end up moving through time, that the space time, which actually bends like this, is going to cause that apple to go from here to now down to down to down to eventually into contact with whatever surface is it was falling towards because of gravity, which is the bending of space time. And that blew my mind. That is what's actually happening every time you drop something. No force gets applied to it, nothing. It just moves through time, and because time is bending closer to the Earth, there's more bending to the Earth the closer you are to it, the more gravity gets applied to it. And I can't I can't.
Yeah, dude.
It's so cool.
These, and we're just now basically getting to wrap our heads around these concepts, and they're like actively building better and better models to visualize these things, dude. And yeah, we're transcending, dude. We're learning more and more, and we're basically going to soon gain the capacity to remember the things that we're constantly learning as well, and then keep reapplying it. And that is the ultimate goal, dude.
Yep.
But I think that's a good note to leave it on.
Yeah, I think so
The
too.
stream was really good. Thank you for the chats, man.
Dude, thank you so much. I always love our chats. It's always so insightful, and I've spoken to a couple people that are actually really enjoying the content so far. So, cut one or two of my friends. So I'm very happy that people are actually enjoying the content.
I'm happy to hear that, man. Please send me a link as well.
I will
For
do.
some reason, I'm not getting any notifications for it, but I would like to check it out as well, dude.
I will do. I will do.
Oh wait, man. I love
Awesome.
you too, man.
I love you, my friend. And
Check you again soon.
yeah, I'll see you soon. Cheers, everybody, as well. Much love.
Good, goodbye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye.